So there's 4 typical gauges in clay target shooting. You have the most common, which is 12 gauge, and then 20 gauge, 28 gauge, and 410. So those are the 4 most common. We shoot those in the game of skeet, and then also in the game of sporting clays for the sub gauges that are there. Specifically for clay target shooting, you would only use 7.5s, 8s, or 9s. You wouldn't be below 7.5 into 6s, which that is a larger shot size. And typically for 12 gauge, you would not be over 1.1 ounce of shot.
Yep. And then within that, you really just have to find, the velocity that fits well for you. 410 and 28 gauge, it's not really a big deal. There's just a few velocities there because of the size of it. But in 20 probably falls in the same category. But when you get to 12, there really is a wide variety of velocities. You have things that are low recoil, all the way up to some very fast loads for your advanced sporting clay shooters. So generally, finding something for your beginning shooters, that 11 and 12 gauge, 1145, 1200 feet per second, it's going to function most guns, and that's a good recoil. Won't be too heavy for your shoulder. But again, you have to find out what load works best for you.
And as you're putting shells together to go to the range, just make sure that you're conscious about what you have there, because we don't want to take those higher velocity, larger shot size loads to the range. The ranges are set up for certain shot distances. So we just need to be cautious of that to make sure that we're bringing 7.5s, 8s, or 9s to the clay target range.
Absolutely. And also too, gauges. Be sure that you're keeping your ammunition separate. 20 gauge is marked as yellow. 410, 28, and 12 are all red generally, with some different colors in there. But be conscious of that. There's a reason that the 20 gauge is yellow. It's clearly marked so that there's not a mistake where you put the wrong gauge in the wrong gun. So if you are getting to where you're shooting 410, 28, 20, and 12, be very conscious that when you are switching guns or switching tubes, that you switch out your ammo as well, so that there's no mistakes out there.